everybody. I hope you have had a great week. I hope school is going well for you, however that looks for you. And I can't wait to see you all again. In case you've missed it, we are back to meeting as a children's ministry. We have classes every week for both services, Sunday school and Alive and worship time. We also have our Wednesday night program where we play a lot of games and have a lot of fun together. And I would love to have all of you join us again. Now, we've been talking about friendship over the last several weeks. And one of the most important and hardest things to do as a friend is to forgive. Maybe you have a friend that's said something that's hurt your feelings, or maybe you've had a friend do something that has hurt you deeply. But yet you're still friends with them because you understand what they did, they didn't really mean, or what they did by accident, and so therefore you forgive them. But what if that friend kept doing it over and over and over and over and over again? It would be harder to forgive them. Well, Jesus shows us what forgiveness looks like, particularly forgiveness among friends. We see this story in John chapter 21, verses 1 through 19. Now, in this story, Jesus is going to forgive Peter, but before we get into that story, I want us to take a moment to go back in time a little bit. You see, Jesus has been arrested, and he's facing trial, and he's getting ready to go to the cross. But before he gets there, he tells Peter, "You're going to deny knowing who I am before the rooster crows 3 times." And Peter says, "No way in the world would I ever do that. You and me were too close. I would never, ever deny not knowing you." And sure enough, that night, Peter denies even knowing Jesus 3 times before the rooster even crows. And what Jesus said would happen, happened. Now Jesus has died and he's come back to life, and he's getting ready to hand the disciples the kingdom. He's getting ready to say, "It is yours. You are going to be leading people to God. You're going to be spreading the message of hope all over the world. And I need you guys to do it." So Jesus comes to Peter. Now, I don't know how Peter felt, but I can imagine that Peter felt pretty ashamed, pretty upset about what he had done. And when Jesus says, "Will you take care of my people?" Peter said, "Well, yeah, but that would have to seem strange, right? One of the last things you said to Jesus, one of the last conversations you had with him before this, was how you weren't going to deny who he was, and that's what you did." And I can imagine that Peter was carrying around shame and hurtfulness because of what he had done. And here he gets a chance to see Jesus again, and I'm sure all those feelings came back. And to have Jesus say, "Look, you're still important to me, and I still want you to lead, and I still want you to take care of my people." Peter must have been confused, right? I know I would have been. I would have said, "I'm not worthy. Why would you? I hurt you. I'm a terrible person. I did something wrong. Why would you still trust me?" And Peter says, "Yes, yeah, I will." And Jesus asks him again, and Peter responds again, and then Jesus asks him a 3rd time, "Will you?" And Peter says, "Yes." Now you see, Jesus knew what Peter was capable of doing. And Jesus also understood the kind of person Peter was, that sometimes Peter said things and did things that he didn't always mean, because he had a tendency to not think before he said and did things. He just did them, and then sometimes he would regret them. I know for me, that's certainly sometimes the case, where I say some things that I didn't think about what they would do or how that would make the other person feel before I said them. And then I have to ask for forgiveness and hope that my friend forgives me. Or maybe I've done something to somebody without thinking about what the consequences of those actions would be to the people around me. And then I have to go back and ask for forgiveness. So I can definitely understand how Peter may have felt in that way. But to have somebody so close to you so say, "I trust you and I want you to be in charge and to take care of things," and that would have to be a pretty powerful statement. A statement of forgiveness, a statement of trust, even though maybe Peter didn't deserve it, or we don't deserve it, but yet our friends still trust us. So I guess the question comes, what are we going to do with that trust? What are we going to do with that forgiveness when it's offered to us from friends, or when we offer it to other friends, right? If we've hurt somebody and they forgive us, It's not a free pass to do it again. It's a chance for us to learn from our mistake, to do what we can to make sure that we don't do that again. They've given us their trust again. And it's not a free pass to just do what we want and break that trust again. Rather, it's to do what Peter did, right? To go do exactly what Jesus wanted him to do and to do amazing things. To work on that friendship, to gain that trust, to work on that trust to make it even stronger than it was before. It's going to take a lot of work. But if we're really friends, if we want to be good, true friends, that's what we need to do. So this week, think about maybe some people who have hurt you, some friends that have hurt you. So maybe people that you don't trust as much as you used to. Find ways maybe that you can think about how you can forgive them. Or maybe you can think about maybe some of their motives or why they did it and put yourself in their shoes and say, is it that big a deal? Can I forgive them? Or sometimes you just have to walk away from a friend because they're not a good friend. And that's okay too. But also think about maybe some people that you've hurt. So maybe some people you used to be friends with or you are friends with, but the friendship's not the same because of something maybe you've said or something you've done that needs to be forgiven or some trust that you need to build back. Take some time this week. Think about some things that you can do to rebuild that friendship, to show that you are a true friend, that you can be trusted, and that your friendship with them is valuable. That's all I've got for this week. I hope to see you all again soon. Until then, have a great day.